Okay, in this project you're going to use what you know about variables and loops to design a board for a game. And you're actually going to work with a team of people to design several boards of the game, sometimes called Arkanoid, sometimes called Bricks, sometimes called Breakout. And each level should be of increasing difficulty. I died again. But you're going to learn what you use, or you're going to use what you learned about variables and loops to design this board. Notice all of the blocks are laid out in a grid-like formation, which you've already had experience working with in the last project, My Chessboard. So, let's get started. First thing you're going to do is the same thing you always do. You're going to download the new project. You should know how to do this already. You download it. Alright, it's downloaded. You go to your download folder. If it's not decompressed, just click it and it decompresses. You take the folder, you put it to the desktop, and you drop that folder into the projects folder of CodeBucket. There we go. Now, when we open up CodeBucket and we look for Layout Land, there it is right there. Let's open it up and begin to work with our code. Now, you are given these 5 methods to work with. Let's run the program and see what we get before we do any coding or any programming. Alright, we get an empty board and nothing to help us place the blocks. We just get an empty board. The first thing you want to do is you want to show the grid, because the grid helps you visualize where each block goes. Now, I haven't given you coordinates. You're going to have to do the math in your head, but that shouldn't be too difficult for most of you. Know that this top corner right over here, if you want to place a brick right over here, this is coordinate x equals 20 and y equals 50. And so it's up to you to figure out the math for the coordinates of any of these other bricks. But this coordinate right over here is x equals 20 and y equals 50. And let's draw our first block right there. X equals 20, y equals 50. And now there are these 3 other fields. What do these fields mean? Well, the method addBlock takes 5 parameters, int x, int y, int p, int d, and int c. And as always, if you want to know how to use it, you look at the documentation. This method adds a block 30 pixels wide and 15 pixels high at coordinate x, y. P stands for the power up, which 0 is no power up, 1 is a coin, 2 is a ball hold, which allows your ship or your paddle to hold the ball instead of reflecting it. 3 creates a bigger ship or a bigger paddle, and 4 gives you the ability to shoot lasers. D stands for the destroy type. There's 3 different types of bricks. One is, or brick 0 is just takes 1 hit to destroy. 1 signifies a brick that takes 3 hits to destroy, and a 2 is an indestructible block, which is useful for creating challenging boards. And finally, C stands for the color of your block. So we've already put in the x and the y coordinate. Now we want the power up. Let's make that a coin. 1 stands for coin. The destroy type, let's leave that as a 0, so we only have to hit it once. And then the color, what color do we want? Let's use red. I like red. So we'll make that 6. Alright, let's see where that takes us. We run the program, and we should get 1 single brick right over there. There we go. X equals 20, y equals 50. And you should know that each brick is 30 pixels wide by 15 pixels high. So this next brick over is going to be 20 plus 30 pixels over with the same y coordinate. Let's draw another brick, or another block there, 30 pixels over. So that'll be x equals 50, y equals 50. Let's make that another coin. Same destroy type, and oops, and let's make that a different color. Let's make that blue, and let's see what we get. Alright, there we go. And you can test your board by playing it. Now, I've found that it's kind of difficult to play this game with the grid, so if you want to test it, just take away show grid, and it'll be easier to see. It'll take away that grid. And I've put the blocks in a very difficult place to hit, so I don't think I'm going to be able to hit them right now. or it'll take me a long time. Yeah, this is going to take a while. Let's try. Maybe I'll get it now. Oh, and hopefully, come on. All right. Well, this is going to take a while, but if you hit the blocks, you'd be able to see that they both give you a coin. All right, I'm giving up. But you can see that it's going to take a long time to draw all the blocks one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a loop. I'm going to draw, let's say, 8 blocks. I'll take that away. And since I want to draw a block in a location that changes, I'm going to create a variable for what's changing. Now, what's changing? The x coordinate. So let's call that block x. And I'm going to set my first block to, let's see, let me plan this out. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks. If there were 2 blocks on each side, that would leave me with 11. Oh, that's kind of inconvenient. If I take 3 blocks, that's 9. Alright, so let's make a row of 9, and I'll start 3 blocks over. So that'll be 20 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30, which is 110. So I'm going to start my row at x equals 110. Y equals 50 plus, let's start at 2 rows down, so that's 50 plus 30 is going to be 80. And let's make them all distribute a coin. Let's make them all a single destroy type, and they're all going to be red. And let's see what that gives us. Oh, I only drew 8. I wanted to draw 9. So, hey. Oh! Mr. Oden's made a mistake. So, block X is 110. I forgot to move or change block X. So the next time I want block X to equal whatever it equaled plus 30 pixels over, because that is the width of the block. And there we go. And what I really want is 9 blocks. And there we go. And that makes it a lot easier. And there's our coin. Our coin. And I'm not going to play this all day, but you get the idea. Now, that's one row. That's blue. I want to make another row that let's say is red. Alright, so I'm going to have to reset block X back to 110. I want to increment block X by 30 pixels. My Y coordinate is going to change. Instead of 80, it's going to be 15 down from that, so it's going to be 95. Let's make this row power-ups. What's the power-up? Let's make them lasers. So my power-ups will be 4. My destroy type, let's make them 3 hits each, and let's make them, those were blue, these will be red. There we go. Now, if you notice, the first time I hit that block, it's not going to go away because I haven't destroyed it. I need to hit each block 3 times in order to destroy it. That's twice for that one, and 3 times, and it gives me a laser. Yay! Now, the cool thing about lasers is you don't have to hit them 3 times on those destroy blocks to destroy them. And I died. And I died. Okay. So, I'm not really going to tell you all that much more, other than the fact that you do not need to make your board exactly as I'm doing it. You don't need to make each row only one color. You can use loops however you want. For example, you can make any kind of design. You can make a row, you can draw, let's say, 4 of them, draw a different kind of block in the middle, and then draw another 4 over here. You can use the loops to draw a row all the way across. You can use the loops to draw a row all the way down. You can even use a loop to draw diagonally, and I'm not going to tell you how to do that. You can use the loops creatively like this. So for example, the way I'm drawing the blocks now, every block is going to have the same power up, the same color, and so on. What if I wanted a little pattern in each row? Let's say for the first row, I wanted to draw 9 blocks. So I'm going to draw 3 blocks. So I'll increment block X each time I draw a block. Plus 30, plus 30, and now I'm going to draw each one at the new position. Y is going to stay the same. But this one's going to distribute a coin. That one is going to distribute a laser, and that one's going to do nothing. Actually, you know what? Let's just do nothing, 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 and so there'll be a coin. Or no, how about this? These blocks will distribute coins. That one will be a laser. And what's destroy type? Let's leave the destroy types and let's make them, how about blue, blue, and then, I don't know, white. White is 2, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is you can use loops in any creative way you want. There we go. See that? Once. Twice. Ugh. There we go. Let's get some laser action. Boom, 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 boom. There's my coin. There's another coin, just like I programmed, and there's another laser. So, I'll leave you to be as creative and as you want. Solve these problems using the tools that you have. I will introduce you to a concept that I'm not going to teach you how to use, but if you want to figure it out, it might make this easier. You can use loops, but then you can also use loops inside of loops. And I'm not going to tell you what that's for, but if you can figure out why that might be useful, then it'll cut your workload down by a lot. So what I want you to do now is download the project, and I want you to get into groups of, let's say, 3 or 4, and work together to design a 3 or 4 level game. So each level, well, I'm not going to tell you what all these others are for. Create randomized board, just, you know, I shouldn't even put it in the, you're not going to need that. Set design by sets the design by at the bottom of the screen, so this is designed by Mr. Oden's. And sets the level of your board. So let's say this is the first board of our game, whatever group I'm in. And obviously the first board should be the easiest, the second should be a little bit more challenging, and the third and fourth should be more challenging than that. So if you notice, here's designed by Mr. Oden's, so you can personalize your board and you can set the level. And once your team or your group is done designing all the levels of all your boards, I will compile them into a game, and we'll put it online, and people can play it if you so wish. So there we go. Get into groups of 3 or 4. Plan out what your boards are going to be like before you actually do them, and good luck. Be as creative as you can be, as always.